Hey cousins, so this is my first YouTube vlog. I'm getting a video on my time going to New York to visit a safe consumption site, which is a site where people who use drugs are able to use their substances and get revived if their substances are laced or have, undesirable mixed in. And there are lots of different opinions and different thoughts about safe consumption sites and responsibility and you know, and quality of life versus keeping people alive. I mean, there's just so many schools of thought. So this video is chronicling the entire trip, some conversations that have happened, and I'll kind of come on here a little later and share my thoughts about the whole trip and and what some of this might mean for public health. So hope you guys enjoy. Okay, well here I am looking tired because it was early, walking into Penn Station, looking for my supervisor and all of our other people going on this trip because we've been up at the train station, and yeah, we got business class tickets, girl, per. So yeah, as I said, we were in business class, and some of the scenery on our way down there was so beautiful and breathtaking, but I don't believe in recording people's kids, so that's why y'all go and see what y'all can see there. Here I am again looking hella tired because I was. And now we are in Manhattan, and if I told y'all the backstory of how we even got here, y'all would be crying. It was a mess trying to find and link up with everybody, but we finally found everyone. And then we were on our way to Harlem to the safe consumption site. Okay, so here we are at Manhattanville Market, and y'all, if y'all ever get the opportunity to go, y'all better get them cinnamon buns, and also y'all have to get the chicken shawarma, either the pita or the wrap. It was so good. And I know y'all can't hear what she's saying, but the health commissioner was talking a little bit about the importance of our trip and why we were going to see the safe consumption site. Now we're at the pier. So cool. It was a nice little scenic vibe while we were waiting to go into the site. There are a few things that are missing. What the building looks like on the outside, y'all not gonna see that. Also, some of the practitioners, I did not include their names or their positions in the organization. None of the clients are being shown. Some of the literature that they have also did not show the insides because, again, I know how the internet works, and sometimes people are really mean and nasty for no reason. But I hope you guys get the gist.
Places where OPCs are going to open first are typically places that are impacted by redlining and impacted by generational racism and poor quality of life. The city health department is a newer funder, but they have, after de Blasio administration, after Adams administration, have taken over a huge realm of the funding, public health funding sphere. And so we're within the Department of Mental Health and Hygiene in the city health department.
The Bronx, and then also we have one on-point staff, Dr. Mike Pappas, who's here 3 full days a week. Most of what we're doing here is we do a lot of things, and then we have a list of very specific things that we do, if that makes sense. We prescribe buprenorphine, we test and treat Hep C, we do HIV preventive care, we do STI testing, a lot of wound care, COVID vaccinations. We also offer Hep A, B, and a few other vaccines. We are also here, because of the way that we're set up, we're adjacent to the drop-in center and the overdose prevention center, which means, a lot of people, they come here, especially people who are hanging out in our drop-in center, they're here every day. For many people, it's really a home away from home, or just even they're unsheltered, and this is where they spend most of their time. So we people have become very familiar with us, and they trust us. We're trying to provide a sort of trustful atmosphere where people learn how to advocate for themselves in more traditional healthcare settings.
And so here we were able to see some of the resources they offer and some of the literature that they offer. On Point has its own, like, how to inject or how to snort or how to, how to stay safe with certain objects.
Injection, whatever injection you need, this can help you with. Big mirrors again, so participants can like zoom in makeup a little cute, but they can also see behind them and feel safe, knowing that, especially if you're used to using in the street and used to using any peak and valley drug use patterns, you're constantly looking over your shoulder. Is anybody gonna see like? Obviously, the ritual of drug use is like very sacred to a lot of people, and we don't want to interrupt that. These are all of the supplies that we give out. So lots of different gauges of syringes based on each participant. Band-aids, gauze, lots of medications. In here we have the towels. Oh, it's very luxurious, but it also like very practically helps raise points on your makeup.
Here we got to see the rest of the facility and some of the other services that they provide down in this space.
Like, know what these are, the 4 milligram nasal sprays. Throw it out the window. Just kidding. Throw it back in the bucket. We don't use that here in this room. We use these in community. They're very, very important in community. So how this works is opiates link on to the receptors in the brain and clings on it instead, right? So this is a lot. 4 milligrams is a lot of naloxone. And it's necessary if somebody has stopped breathing out in community. You don't know if they haven't been breathing for a minute, 2 minutes. After 8 minutes, your internal organs start to shut down.
And there was so much more to that discussion, and we learned a lot more about the site. And I have to come and do like a retroactive video because previous Joy was not, I was trying to absorb what was happening as well as bring you guys the content. And the type of content creator that I am, that you guys are going to find out, is that as much as I want to bring you guys the same experience I'm experiencing, I also have a responsibility to actually be in the moment. I will say my thoughts, though, overall about the safe consumption site and the feasibility of bringing them to other cities. I think the way that New York has particularly done it was extremely smart. They've been working on that for 20 years. Increasing their services, little by little, increasing their staff little by little, increasing billable services little by little. And it showed because they have so many resources in that one building. And over the span of years, at one point they only owned 1 floor of the building that the site is in. And now they own the whole building. Floor by floor, they just started taking little by little. And so I think that's so smart. Wow. They have treatment. They have, HIV services, Hep C services, holistic services, acupuncture, stress services, group therapy, individual therapy. They cannot diagnose you with mental health issues, but they can write your prescriptions for your psych meds or, continue your treatment at the facility. Like, oh my God, there's a drop-in center. There's so much in this one place that anybody that is considering doing better or that has I might want to use 1 bag of dope less today, is able, you have the immediate support. And I think that is so important and so special. I also think that them contracting or hiring someone that worked at in Canada's safe consumption site was also extremely smart and extremely well thought out, because that person was a part and knows how the one in Canada works and was able to kind of make sure that when things were being rolled out, that they were being rolled out in a way that was responsible. So I mean, it's hard. The discussion is hard. I'm not going to say that it's not, but saving lives is super important. I think that having all of these services in one place would be super, 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 super helpful. So, as there are more conversations nationwide about how to save lives from substance use, especially with xylazine and fentanyl and, just all the other substances that are popping up, nitazine popping up in the drug supplies across the nation, I think that we have to be more creative and more strategic about how we're doing things. So yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys. And I think I'm gonna do a follow-up video talking about like some pros and cons, and public health in a from a cultural lens, and how sometimes that's challenging. Thanks so much for watching. This is just one part of the series. I will be talking about public health, creativity, burnout, being in your 20s, HBCU life. Just so many things. So super excited, and see you guys soon.